Creative Arts Teachers for Change community. This is Luna, CAT4C convener, I suppose. But welcome to this first interview that I have with Jeremeo Le Cordeur today, where we'll be speaking a little bit about theater in education and specifically enabling access for children to the theater. As I said, Jeremeo is here. Jeremeo has kindly agreed to offer some of his time. Jeremeo, thank you so much. I'm very thankful for being here. How are you doing?
Thank you, Luna. Thank you for having me. I'm doing fine, thank you. Is net warm in die Kaap.
Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm really, really feeling it with you. So I really am thankful for the fact that you could take some time sitting outside with that beautiful mural in the background to come and speak to me. Thank you for giving us
Yeah, it's not a
visuals.
virtual background. It looks like I'm on holiday, but actually no.
Well, thank you for giving us visuals. Thank you for giving us scenery. And I suppose knowing your work, that speaks a lot to how I know you as a theater maker and how you provide um, visualizing,
Mhm.
stimulating, enriching theater experiences in your own practice. So do you mind just telling the CAT4C community a little bit about who you are, where you hail from, what drives you as an artist, and of
Mhm.
course, what you would like to be best known for?
Yeah, so as we said, my name is Jeremeo. I'm from a small town known as Wellington. Born and raised in Wellington, and I've always had a passion for the arts, even since high school. I remember when I was in high school, we didn't have drama or creative arts or even dramatic arts as a subject. And somehow I would still manage to find the courage to go and speak to my principal to ask him if I can perform my play at assembly. Which you can imagine in a time before the year 2000 is like, yeah, that takes me back. But let's just say I've always been passionate in making drama and theater accessible to kids in schools. And I think it's partially because I wish it's something I would have had when I was in school, because the first time I even saw a play was actually when I went to go and study after
Mm,
high school, when I saw a professional play in a professional theater, which to me is what a shame, you know.
mm,
I think back and I wish I would have been exposed to that a lot earlier. And I think there's the stigma, especially in our communities, where kids feel like that's not reachable or attainable. They feel like it's so far away from them
mm,
to a point where they don't even allow themselves to dream in that direction because they feel like, we can't, you know? And I guess I really would like to change that. Um, but yeah, that's basically me, and I always had passion for theater. I work in the industry myself. I studied at City Varsity. I've been in a few things, TV shows, and I've done many theater shows with many different people. But the thing I would like to be most known for, and that I probably am most known for, is being Oma Seklong. I made videos with my grandmother, and I managed to document the last few years of her life. And that's something that was so beautiful and special to me.
mm,
And had it not been for my background in drama and the passion for drama, I would never have been able to make those videos in the first place.
mm.
So I'm just grateful to be having the tools to have done something like that and to have exposed my grandmother to the world. And I can proudly say that at the age of 96, my grandmother from Wellington, who's never studied drama in her life, won a Silver Standard Bank Ovation Award at Makanda for just being herself.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jeremio. I have
Thank you.
engaged with a bit of your Oma Suklong content, and it was really, really heartwarming. And I can also see in your production of the content how you just pulled together all of your various skills to make that work.
Mm.
Here's a little bit of a more challenging question. So you graduated from City Varsity and you now entered the industry. What are
Mhm.
say was one or two of the biggest challenges that you faced, and how did you get to the point where you are today to being that Standard Bank
Mm.
Ovation Award winner?
I would say one of the most challenging things have always been access and funding. We work in an industry which is something I could ever only learn once I was in the industry. Is that it's an industry that's made up of people, you have to know in order to expose yourself to certain opportunities. I wish it didn't have to, it didn't work like that. But unfortunately, that's just the industry and to a great extent the world we live in, where it's all about who you know, your ability to network, your ability to make and establish connections, and then to nurture those connections for collaboration. I would say that is a very important tool and asset to have in this industry, because you always have to use every opportunity you can to network and make connections and make contacts with people at theaters and festivals. Because as much as you want to create work and you want to do work, it is so important for your work to be seen and to be seen by the right people. Um, and that, unfortunately, you can only execute if you know who those people are and how the industry works. And that took a lot of time and a lot of observation and a lot of trial and error and networking in order to get those connections to then take your work to the next level. And then, of course, funding. Funding is the thing we are always struggling with, like always and forever. I mean, I've done many, many different shows, and I've probably paid for half of them out of my own pocket. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been made, or I wouldn't have been where I am. And that's also an important thing, is for artists to realize that in order to be where you want to be, you are also your own business. And with any business, you have to invest money to make money, which I know as an artist is hard to do if you still want to make a living, right? But somehow you need to find that balance between how do I make ends meet, but also how do I get funding to be able to do what I do. Um, so I can honestly say I apply to anything I get my hands on. Any opportunity there are for artists, any opportunity for funding, for writing, for it doesn't matter. Like, I've come to realize that those are the moments where you truly get to learn, and those are also the moments where you get to network with people that can go further. Like, I just returned back from Joburg, where I applied for a director position where I could direct a play that was written by an Argentinian writer, and we only had a week to execute everything. It was challenging, but I can honestly say I walked away having made so many connections, and I now know people at the market theaters. Like, now I can just pick up the phone and dial and be like, how can we work together? So yeah.
I really, really value what you are saying about once you're being in the industry, how it's important for us to collaborate, how it's important to constantly be on the lookout for opportunities, but then also to have that drive to actually submit that application form or to actually respond to that, call for applications or expression of interest. And you seem to have that down, because I have seen on the
It's
platform that you
trial
have.
and error, honestly. It's trial and error. Sometimes you have it down, other times you just don't, because what people are looking for are forever changing. So you may have it down right now, but then next year when you have to apply again, there's a completely different criteria. And obviously, this just means you always have to be in tune with what they are asking, and always you need to know how to communicate your ideas and your vision and your things.
Thank you so much for sharing that with me. You have a play coming up at the Baxter soon, which you have actually opened up to a school, a going audience, and
Yeah.
we do have a group of teachers in the Creative Arts Teachers for Change community. So would you mind telling us a little bit about Dude Was My Phone, coming up at the Baxter Theatre, its relevance to the curriculum, and why you have chosen specifically to target a school audience?
So Dude Was My Phone, it's a very special play to me. It's the second installment in my play series. The first one I wrote was Dude Was My Bakkie, which did very well, and it was actually inspired by my Bakkie being stolen. So it's, it comes from real life, and I took an unfortunate situation and turned it into something fun. And then as a follow-up, we're doing Dude Was My Phone. And one of the important things to me when I write a play or direct a play or work on any play is to ask myself, who are the people that's meant to see this? What group of audience would be most valuable with the content? And in this particular show, it's without a doubt, I'm trying to reach young people. I'm trying to reach youngsters, particularly who are very into their phones, who are to their phones, which I know is quite an issue. I mean, I have nephews that are toddlers, and if you take a tablet away from them, it's over. And so those are the things I'm trying to address in my show, Dude Was My Phone. It's a really fun story, and it's completely in Afrikaans. It's based in Wellington, where I'm from. So a lot of it is inspired by my real life, but it also keeps the play incredibly grounded. I feel like when schools come out to see these plays, um, it's always something so serious, and you have to know these things, or if it's Shakespeare you have to understand the story. But in this show it's truly just about having fun and then learning through that process. So it's a story about a guy who wins a brand new iPhone, and I'm sure if you have a youngster or a teenager and you show them a new iPhone, their face are just gonna light up, right? Because they're excited about what that phone can do. And so in this show, we explore that. Somebody wins a phone, he gets completely sucked into social media, he becomes an influencer. All of a sudden, he has all these people giving him all this attention through his phone, but then later realizes that all of those things are not necessarily good for him. And so things start going wrong for the character. Um, but at no point do we ever lose the laughs. You learn in a fun, comical way. And I think like a show like this, to expose it to kids of that age who are part of the TikTok culture and who knows all the TikTok dances we are doing in the show, it will really get them comfortable and, through having fun. And I'm sure by the time they go home, they would actually question the relationship with their phone and how good it is for you. So yeah, that's basically what Dude Was My Phone is. I did the show all year last year. We went to 4 different festivals. We went to St. Feest, Kaka and Kav, Feest, and Makanda. And at every pit stop, whenever we did the show, it was undeniable that the kids and the youth enjoy it the most. And so the play at Baxter now, I've decided to focus exactly on that. So the show is specifically just for schools. That's the audience I really want to come and see it. We've made our performances during the day, and it will be at Baxter. And yeah, we've got schools coming to see us already. That's very excited about it. And we really want to make it an experience for them, not just about coming to see the show and then you go home, but to also come and talk about the show afterwards through Q&A sessions and and we're also going to have a small little workshop before the show as well for new theatre comers, just to give them a little bit of history on how, what theatre etiquette is and what to expect when you come to a theatre. Because last year, we also managed to get a group to come and see us who actually, we then realized they were all at the Baxter Theatre for the very first time. And so we really want to make that first time special.
You're just listening to your description of the show. It's making me want to stay absent out of school to come and watch it. I, as a teacher in the classroom myself, seeing how drawn children are to TikTok and how things that happen on TikTok are extremely accessible and relevant to them. I can only imagine how engaged they would be.
I'm telling you, there are TikToks in the show, and the moment those TikToks play, the kids jump up and they start doing the TikToks and they become alive, honestly. They just erupt the moment you play those TikToks, and they know them. And this play, I mean, we make use of completely TikTok music throughout the whole show. So there will definitely be something to keep them engaged and to keep them passionate. And I'm sure it's a show they will talk about long after they've seen it at the theater.
So here's one more question for you. I want to know, so community creative arts teachers for change, teachers currently in schools teaching arts subjects. However, there are also teachers in the community that have an interest in exposing their kids to arts education. So in 1 or 2 sentences, as a teacher, I have a lot of work to do. I have a curriculum to get through. I have a lot of paperwork to fill out to get my kids to go to the theater. Some of my kids can't afford to go to the theater. And as a result, I feel, this is not me directly, by the way, but I might feel, as a teacher, I might feel a bit discouraged to, actually get my kids going to the theater. Inspire me, motivate me, sell Dude Was My Phone to me
Yeah.
as a teacher.
Well, Well, as Vulture Productions, we understand exactly what you are saying, and we have identified that to make this thing successful and successful and accessible, both parties have to really lean on. Like, I'm here to make the process easier for you because I understand what you have to go through. This is why we have different price packages and a very low price point. The show's only 40 Rand. And again, I wanted to make it accessible for kids. So we knew that a lot of kids want to be able to afford this. So we made the show incredibly low in terms of pricing. But then we also have another package where we offer to take responsibility for the transport. We know that transport is something that a lot of schools struggle with. And so there is a package where the school can leave that to us and where we can try and sort out the transport for them. And then, of course, we have an open door policy with all of our teachers. We understand how overwhelmed you are and how busy you are and how crazy everything can get. And if there's anything we can do to help and assist, me, myself personally, I'm there willing to step in because I also want to learn. And I also want to make the collaboration with the teacher. I want to make that process easier. I see myself doing a lot of shows going forward. And so this is not just about this instance, but I'm also interested in nurturing the relationship going forward because I do believe in exposing kids to theater at schools. And I understand that the key to doing that is for the teachers and the artists to be able to work together and lean on each other.
Coming in with that, another additional insight regarding collaboration and its place in the arts. So thank you so much for sharing that. Last question, Jeremeo.
Mhm.
Where can we get hold of you? Yeah, where can we get hold of you? What kind of interactions or queries are you open to? And then also, I suppose, how do you think that teachers can go about being an agent of change in exposing people to theater in the various spaces where
Yeah.
they work?
Well, you can all reach me probably through Vulture Productions. That is the platform through which I produce all of my work. We are very active on social media. You can find us on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. It's very simple, just Vulture Productions. But if you really struggle to find Vulture Productions, I'm sure you will find Oma Seklong a lot easier. So you're welcome to message me anytime. Like I said, open door policy. I try my best to help teachers where I can. And yeah, I would just like to really encourage teachers to, if you are teaching a creative arts or drama class, I think it's important to also expose yourself to theater even before you expose your kids to theater. So um, yeah, I would like to encourage teachers to also go to the theater themselves and get inspired themselves so that they can go and inspire the kids, you know. I love seeing that some dramatic arts teachers, they come from a theater background because in my experience, I can see how passionate they are about really helping the kids and assisting the kids and stuff like that. Um, we are also having an opening night for Dude Was My Phone at Baxter. So I would actually like to use that opportunity to invite the teachers to come and see the show also first, before even coming to bring the kids or, you know. So I would also, if possible, if teachers would like to get hold of me and who would be interested in that, then by all means, come and see us. And then we talk in person afterwards.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm sure that the community of teachers that are in CAT4C will really, really appreciate the guidance and some of the insights that you've shared with us. And I've also really, really enjoyed this conversation with you. So thank you very much, Jeremia, once again for offering up some
Thank you.
time. Your contribution towards CAT4C will never be unappreciated and will never be unnoticed. So yeah, thanks so
Yeah.
much, Jeremia. You must have a stunning day further.
Thank you so much, Luna. I appreciate it. And yes, please feel free to send along all the information I gave you. We did put all of the information about the show in an email that makes it easy for schools. So if you could share that with everyone, that would be great. And then I hope to hear from you and see you guys and interact with you and hopefully see you at the show.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much.